This will be our YouTube channel, so you can watch yourself at a later date over and over and over again if you want. No. My name is Reverend Felicia Perez-Zader. How are you? Sending you lots of love. This has been a hell of a last couple of weeks since we were last here together, especially since Friday and Roe v. Wade being overturned. So I don't know how this finds you, but I do pray that you are, well, you're here. And I am thankful for that. And I pray that we're all feeling some kind of connection, even if it's across the far and wide here, even on Zoom. So let's begin, as we usually do, with the candle lighting. I already have one candle lit. If you would like to light a candle from where you are seated, or however if you're standing, maybe not if you're driving, because that could get a little dangerous. But do feel free. And then, of course, I'm going to pray the way that I pray, acknowledging that you may pray very differently or send energy or good vibes or feeling tones, whatever it might be. It may look very different. So it's all welcome here at Roll. And so let us begin, recognizing this is not a meeting, but this is a sacred time. So if it is comfortable for you to close your eyes, you may. And you can breathe in through the nostrils and out through the mouth if you would like. Breathing in. And exhaling. And again, breathing in through the nose. And then exhaling out. Doing this with intention and breathing in one more time. And a nice, beautiful exhale. Holy One, how good it is to be here in the midst of all of this and all this isness. Thank goodness that we can come together far and wide and remember what is important. Remember to lift our voices up. Remember art, and that art moves mountains, and that there is change that we will create, that we can create, and that is being co-created. And so, however this finds this community right now, a blessing upon these people, their hearts and their minds, their bodies, their souls, their spirits. And we recognize other communities that may be under attack and feeling threat or feeling fear. And so in this moment of recognition, we send support, we send love, and we send joy. I ask a prayer for illumination as well, a prayer that we can continue to see the ways in which we must motivate and move so that we are truly effective in the time that we get to be here. So in that prayer of illumination, may there be a restoration, and may this time, specifically tonight, feel restorative to people and be that for them. May there be like a sense and an uplift of aha and joy and wonder. May this love fill our hearts and our spirits right now. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Amen, Amen, Ashe, Aho. Okay, so I am going to ask for a volunteer. I'm going to share my screen once again and then ask for a volunteer to read this land acknowledgement. Someone can read this, please. And feel free to come off mute can do so.
I'll do it.
Thank you, Rob.
At this time, we want to take a moment to reflect on the lands on which we reside. We are coming from many places, and we acknowledge the ancestral homelands and traditional territories of Indigenous people who have been here since time immemorial, and recognize that they are still here fighting for human rights, for lands, and for their culture. I am in central Indiana, and I acknowledge the stolen lands of the Potawatomi and the Chippewa. Please acknowledge the lands which you reside upon in the chat. If you don't know, go to native-land.ca from Speak Out Now.
Thank you, Dr. Gross. And now if I could get a volunteer to read our path acknowledgement as well. Feel free to. Yes.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, who else was going to do it? Is that for me?
It's all you. Go ahead.
Okay. Taylor, X. My pronouns are he, him, and his. See, path acknowledgement. We take this time to acknowledge and honor the many paths and beliefs represented here. We honor all religions, philosophies, ideologies, belief systems, healing modalities, and spiritual perspectives. We honor the life experience and wisdom you brought here today. We respect you and welcome you into this brave space. We emphatically state that disrespect, prejudice, discrimination of any kind has no place here. We empower one another through respect and strength to be true revolutionaries of love. We see you, we hear you, we love you. If you have a path, faith, tradition, belief system, share it in the chat so we can get to know you better. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Taylor X. Okay, and then once again, welcome everyone. My name is Reverend Felicia Perez-Zader. My pronouns are she, her, hers, they, them, theirs. Happy Pride. We are doing Art is Resistance. That is what's happening tonight. And with that, please do, I don't know if you've done this already because I haven't checked the chat yet, but write your name in the chat. So then that way I can get an idea of the order. So feel free to write your name. That's all you need to write in the chat if you would like to share. I'm also going to ask for a volunteer to center us in our mission and vision statement. So again, 2 more volunteers, please. First off, for the mission statement. Don't be shy. We want to hear you. This will be very interactive this evening. So come on off mute.
David and I can do it.
Thank you.
All right, the Revolution of Love Ministry and Movement mission statement: to create courageous, multi-path communities through healing services, educational offerings, and the study and practice of abolition for dynamic inner and outer transformation.
Thank you so much, Margaret.
The Revolution of Love Ministry and Movement vision statement: bring hope, inspiration, education, and action to every change agent in the world. If you are breathing, you are a change agent.
Thank you, David. So let's actually go to, I'm going to stop the share and let's go to the blessing, and I'll lead the blessing tonight. Why not? I haven't done it in a while. So one thing that we get to do here, if you don't know, is we say, we see you, we hear you, we love you 3 times, and we come off mute and everybody's voices mix together and commingle, and it's really wonderful. So are you ready? Are you ready? So on the count of 3, we'll say it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Come off mute. We see you, we hear you, and we love you. Again, we see you, we hear you, and we love you. And one more time. We see you, we hear you, and we love you. Beautiful. Thank you so much, my friends. So before we dive in, just a little word about role it's always nice to, again, center and be intentional when we come into this space. Even if you've been here many times, it's always important to just remember what we're doing here at Roll. So Roll is about inner work, as Margaret and David were just reading, and it is also connected to doing the outer work in the world. So it was created from that idea that we cannot simply pray and meditate and get, I want to say, high on our own supply or be blissed out on the mountaintop, that we have to, at some point, as we take care of our wellness and our inner landscape, we must act as that this is a springboard and create the change that is needed in this world, in our society, in our culture. So that does mean dismantling white supremacy and white supremacy culture and all the systems and the structures that are oppressive. And I realize that's a lot. That's a lot. And yet we take that very seriously here because we must, because the ways that we are living are not cutting it. And we know that. I know everybody that is zooming in right now knows that. I pray that the folks on Facebook that maybe are not as familiar with Roll, I don't think there should be a memo that needs to go out at this point. This is where we are. This is where we are. And so with that, we don't need to be exhausted from it. Instead, we need to just motivate and move. So I'm going to say something I don't always say, and that is, if you have ideas on how we can further the work of Roll in a very effective way, message me, because it's harder to do this on Zoom than if we were in a live space. So I have my own ideas, but if there's other things we can add on outside of our Sunday service here, things that you think would be very important and effective in our collective healing and change making, then do message me. I'd be interested in having that conversation with you. Okay. In the meantime, it's art as resistance. Like I said, poems, songs, sound, art, collage, billboards. I don't know. This is your time to express yourself, and we get to herald you and love you for it. So who would like to begin? Let's look at the chat. Let's see. I'm seeing Robert. Robert, would you like to begin, start us off?
Sure, I'd be delighted to. I mean, well, not necessarily delighted, because my piece is not very, it's not very happy. A month and a half ago, I wrote a piece in response to the racist Buffalo shooting of May 14th. And it just seems so long ago because so many atrocities have happened since then. But I wrote this piece. It's called A Deadly Combination. And you're going to hear two words with music, two words over and over repeated: racism and guns. And all. It's a 4-minute piece. It'll take up 4 minutes of your time. And I just want to contemplate the deadly combination of racism and guns. And I hope this works. I keep my fingers crossed. I have had some bad luck with the technology on the Zoom side, so we'll see. If it doesn't work, then just move on to someone else, and we'll. I mean, I'll try. So shared sound, shared. Here's my SoundCloud, and here we go. Racism, guns. 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 Racism, guns.
racism guns, 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 racism guns.
That's it. It's a 4-minute piece. There's a longer version that's a 10-minute piece on my SoundCloud. So anyway, a deadly combination.
Wow, very intense. How very intense, Rob. Any things that you would like to add as Rob to that?
Just I can't keep. I mean, I couldn't believe how quickly, as soon as I wrote this piece and released it, there was the shooting in Texas, and then there's the court decisions. It's just, as an artist, it's very difficult to keep up with all this stuff. I mean, I could use a more stronger expletive, but oh, that's Facebook. I mean, sorry. I don't know if you can hear that. My SoundCloud kept going.
No, I couldn't hear it.
Okay, good.
Could hear you though.
Okay, all right. No, it's just so impossible to keep up with this stuff as an artist. You know, I want to be responsive to the world that we live in, and you know, this tragedy that I'm responding to is a month and a half old and almost forgotten in this you know, promulgated 24-hour, 7-day-a-week news cycle.
Yeah.
And we can't forget these
Yeah.
these disasters, these tragedies. I mean, we just can't let them go.
Yes. Thank you, Rob, for sharing your powerful piece with us. And I pray that everybody is doing okay. I don't know how, I don't know. I hope you all are doing okay. Because you know, that sometimes that intensity can obviously trigger folks. So as we move forward, and again, thank you, Rob. Let's, you know, continue to check in on one another. You can send messages to each other, even if you don't know the person, get to know them. get to know them, check in, say hello, something of that nature. Let's see. I have Jasmine is here. Jasmine, I saw that you wrote your name. Did you have something to share?
I think art is definitely resistance. I definitely think that it is, and I agree that we should check in with the ones we don't know and the ones we do know. And yeah, thank you, Rob, for your share.
And Jasmine, did you have like a poem or anything? I just saw that your name was in there. I want to make sure I don't.
No, I don't have a share.
Okay. Okay, well, if you do, you'll let us know, yeah.
For sure.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go to the next name that I saw, which was Taylor X. Taylor, are you still here and still like to share with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, this one's called Jesus Commands. Jesus is God incarnate. Now, Jesus knows everything that's going to happen before it happens. So stay with me. Let's take a look at Judas. The good book says that Jesus prophesizes that Judas would betray him. Now, I don't think that's the way it went down. What makes more sense to me is that Jesus commanded Judas to turn him in. See, Judas has all the connects to the guards. The guards don't know what Jesus even looks like. Judas had to point him out. So they paid him, what was it, 25 pieces of silver. Judas doesn't know they're going to kill Jesus. He just thinks they're going to take him in for questioning. Jesus is the only one who knows they're going to kill him. And poor Judas ends up hanging himself over this. I wish there was a suicide hotline back then. Now, Peter. The good book says Peter will deny Jesus 3 times before the cock crows. Now, Peter declares his love for Jesus and his willingness to die alongside of him. Now, that's loyalty. But Jesus knows that Peter is going to be the one to start the church after Jesus is murdered. He knows only Peter is capable of organizing, inspiring, and starting the church. Not any church, but the church that Jesus wants. He commands Peter to deny him 3 times. If that's what it takes, you will deny me 3 times. Now, Peter does his best, but Jesus knows Peter cannot die. Peter has to stay alive. The church depends on it. Jesus was not prophesizing. He was giving a command. Now, Mary. All the Roman guards are watching Jesus on the cross. They want to kill any of his followers. His mother is there. He knows that the guards will kill her if they find out it's his mother. So he tells his mother, "Go away, you are not my mother." Many so-called Christians use this to denounce Mary, saying she is not important, but I know that she is. Jesus said that so the guard would not kill her for being his mother. Again, another command. I know a lot of people are going to give me shit for this, and all I got to say to them is, were you there? Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor X. We can always count on you to keep it real. And yes, we love that. We appreciate it so much. Thank you, Taylor X. Also, I want to add that if there's like second pieces like Rob or Taylor and whoever, and let's see, I've got Scott coming up next. Scott, you can prepare if you need to, but if you want to double dip tonight, due to the size of our community, you can, oh, make sure you go back on mute. I'm going to put you on mute, Taylor. Okay. So if you want to double dip tonight, you can. So just highlight that. So in the meantime, we're going to move to Scott. Scott, where are you at? Welcome back. Come on off mute and let us hear you.
Okay, I'm trying. There we go. I'd like to share some images, and it says the host disabled participant screen sharing, and I wanted to share.
Okay, let me do that. Let's see. Let me find you here. I can make you co-host, Scott.
Okay,
There, it should work now.
all righty. There we go. Okay, I'm a visual artist, primarily paintings, but I also do digital work, and I have an entity I call Never Was, memorabilia for events that never happened. I'm going to share several images from that. This is a piece that I did in response to, God, I can't even remember which shooting it was. There've been so many. Can you guys see this? It's Charlton Heston's grave. And he made that pledge about they're going to have to tear these guns out of my cold, dead hands. And so that's what I've done here. It was probably Sandy Hook. And these little children are trying to rip that gun out of his hands. I have some more. Let's see here. Get out of that one. Go back to share, new share. Okay. This is, I just opened another one. It's hard to tell which one you guys are actually looking at. Which ones do you see now? Which one do you see? Do you see the wreck of the Santa Maria? Good. All right. So yeah, you can see what I wrote down here at the bottom. The Santa Maria sank. And these Native Americans are watching it go down. And they've been spared the Holocaust and the rape of their magnificent land. And indigenous peoples across the continent celebrate a holiday they call Thanksgiving. Something that never happened. Here's another thing that may happen, although I have my doubts. And that's some justice here. Doing time. It's the Trumps find new federal housing. We can only hope. I did several times. I also did another one with Lloyd Blankfein on the south lawn of the White House with Obama. Instead of letting all these banksters walk, actually sent some to jail. That would have changed things a bit, I think. Here's Feminism Man. When I was hoping somewhere along the line that there would be enough men who understand that patriarchy is over. It has to be over. I'm just always shocked when I talk to women, especially young women, who are apologetic or deny that they're feminists. The term has been so maligned, mistreated, destroyed practically by mainstream America. And I'm a proud feminist. I believe that men and women, I used to believe that if we found common ground, found the ways in which men and women are alike, that some sort of justice, some equality of opportunity could be created for women. But I do not believe that anymore. I think what's really important is the way in which we're different. And I believe that women and men are essentially different, that there are ways that women are different that will save us. That's my hope. Because I don't believe that men can be trusted to make the changes that need to happen. I want to see 75% of the Congress women. I do believe that those women will make sure that children are fed, that we fund education, all the rest of it. I've got a couple more. This is environmental. This was, what I was hoping to do was to attract other artists to join in ways to raise consciousness and possibly funds by producing a series of postcards about how global warming, not climate change, global warming will affect their cities. I live in Los Angeles, so greetings from the Bay of Los Angeles. And here's the observatory on Griffith Island. I live below Griffith Observatory, it's above me. My house would be covered by this water. There's the ruins of downtown. And I'm facetiously predicting this lovely future for Los Angeles. Another perfect day on the Bay of LA, a fabulous destination for the boating set. And the submersible tour across town is great, spooky fun. See you there. No, I could see people, an artist in Miami or any other in New York, places, coastal cities that are going to be underwater. And what are we going to do about it? We're going to have to face the music because that's what's coming. Let me see if I've got another one here. I've got, where is that? Here's one that's had to do with race. It's, where is it now? Come on. It's not appearing on my, sorry about this. I was expecting one more. Well, I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Scott, were you going to say something else?
No. Oh, well, add one more thing. I wanted to thank Rob for that piece. Repetition, right? I went through this period of hearing it and going, okay, he's going to repeat this and it's going to repeat, and this is not fun. What made it fun was I thought your choice of music, which was this neutral, almost lighthearted electronica, elevator kind of music, in contrast and counterpoint to what you were saying. And about 2/3 of the way through, I was almost in tears. You got to me, brother. Way to go.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. And your art is really powerful as well. I mean, these are very striking, very potent images that you're conjuring. So, you know, we can form a mutual admiration society.
I'm there for you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, please do, actually, in the sense of connection. So if you would like to reach out again, I'll just say this again. Connection is everything here. Connection is one of the ways we're going to be able to continue doing this work play, or as David says, home joy, I believe. So connect with each other as we move through the rest of the time tonight. Send somebody a message if you would like, get their info. So thank you so much, Scott. We're glad to have you back. Another role welcome to you, and to Jasmine as well. We don't always get to see Jasmine's face, and all of us have we're always here, right? But thank you, Scott. And now we'll move to, I think, Margaret. Margaret has something for us. Yes?
Yes, I do. Thanks for calling on me. So David and I have had this prayer book for a very long time. It's just called Prayers for Peace. And at different times, we have hosted many international students who have lived with us over probably about a 10-year period. And one of the things that we would do with them is we had a couple of these kinds of prayer books that we would use as an evening opportunity for us to take turns saying a grace, basically, for the meal. And so each person could choose the prayer that spoke to them. And so I pulled it out for tonight because I thought, surely there is something in here that is going to be exactly the words that I want to share, coming from my mouth and from my heart. So this is a prayer that is the cantor Kathy Schwartzman from the Temple of Universal Judaism, New York City. It's time for the quiet voices to get loud. We soft-spoken peace lovers must raise our voices and let it be known that we can lovingly and aggressively reach across those invisible lines that divide us into competing groups. We must work hard to understand who our enemies are. We have to listen hard in order to articulate loudly, clearly, the truths we have come to understand. We can and must pursue peace with furious energy and focus.
Thank you so much. I have that book. I love that book. Yeah. Thank you, Margaret. So who else? Who else? We have more time, so we can just kind of take a pause for a moment. Am I missing someone's name that wanted to go? I know, Judy, you said you're having internet issues. If you want to take a risk and just, do it where it's just your voice and not the visual part, then you can. David, yes, please.
Am I on mute still or not? Okay. So I don't have anything to read, but I have a memory about Pride Parade, maybe 15 years ago, that is worth mentioning. None of you probably know me well enough to realize what a committed introvert I am. And marching in the Twin Cities Pride Parade is a huge step outside of my comfort zone because it's one of the biggest pride parades in the United States. But with my church, I marched a number of years. Now, there are many churches who don't march anymore because Twin Cities Pride they made it harder for churches to march because most of us, we didn't make banners or we didn't make floats. And so they wanted to up the quality of the marchers, and a lot of churches dropped out. But this was 15 years ago. And I know as I would walk along, I would do, my best Miss America wave. And I'm just a straight guy walking with the church, an ally. And so this would have been probably June of 2007, 2008. So fast forward from June to September, and I am working in campus ministry for a small Catholic women's college here in the Twin Cities. And because I'm in campus ministry, we have a convocation at the start of the school year, and I'm going to carry the cross in on a big, tall post, and we're getting lined up to march in. And before the march begins, I think it was the college president said, "Now I want you to just pause and turn to the person next to you and introduce yourself." And so I turned to the person next to me, who I had no idea who she was. Turns out her name is Claire, and she was the president of the student senate who was carrying something else in the procession. So she was next to me. I turned to her and I said, "Hello, my name is David. I work in campus ministry." And she said, "David, I know who you are because I was sitting along the sidewalk during the Twin Cities Pride Parade with a group of my lesbian friends, and I saw you walking down the street with your church, and I got tears in my eyes to realize that there was somebody from my college who was in campus ministry who was willing to walk in the Pride Parade." And it obviously, it moved me, it stayed with me. And I think the lesson that it taught me is that sometimes being seen by people that you don't even know are watching you can make all the difference in the world. So I try to do things that who knows who's watching, but maybe they'll notice and maybe it makes a difference.
Memory.
Thank you so much, David. It's like, you make me think, like, we don't know who's watching and how it might impact or affect them, and then also inspire and ignite them, right? You know, we have no idea how that, at risk of maybe sounding cliche, how that can ripple out and cause that powerful butterfly kind of effect. So thank you, David, for that memory. Appreciate you. And I believe Taylor X has another one. Yes? Taylor X?
This one is called In Lieu of Flowers. I didn't know what to say. She just lost her love. We were all friends. He's still one of the best guitarists I've ever known. We were in a band for a short while, but I didn't like the other female singer. I mean, I tried to. After the memorial, I would send his widow money and a big chocolate bar. I thought chocolate always made people happy. About the third time I sent the package, we talked on the phone. And she was mad at me. She said, "Why am I sending this stuff?" And I didn't know what to say. It caught me so off guard. I said, maybe the universe told me to give this to you. I mean, she just lost her husband. I couldn't imagine how she will get by. But he said before he transitioned, don't buy flowers, give the money to her. And that's what I was doing. That was many years ago. She got so mad at me. I can see how it may have looked. But at the time, I didn't know what to say. I should have just said, in lieu of flowers. That's it.
Wow. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Taylor X. Give one another love in the chat, please, after people are sharing, from their heart so diligently and so preciously. Yeah, so there it is. I see that coming up for you, Taylor X.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. So 6:46, we have time for, if someone wants to maybe share, like, David, thank you for offering a memory. If there's something that someone would like to share from your heart, from your spirit, it could really, anything goes. Let's see. Anybody? Anyone? Any last takers? If not, we can end it here. Oh, Jasmine, please.
I don't remember what year it was, but I worked the Christopher Street West LA Pride, and it was a transformative, out of body experience. I volunteered, and I learned about myself and my community and how to treat one another fairly, justly, and rightly. And every June, I think of Pride and how I can elevate, motivate, and inspire the LGBT community, because they help fuel the arts fire, the spark in my life, and the glitter that's there. So thank you for letting me share.
I love that. The glitter, and what was the other word that you said, Jasmine? Like a couple other words?
The spark, the sparks, you know, like fireworks.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, any other last sharings? Seems like this is almost a good place to rest, doesn't it? Kind of feels that way, but if there is anyone else, let's see, I'm just looking, I see my folks are here. That number there. Okay, everybody, well, oh, yes, Margaret, go on ahead.
I just have one short one from another one of our books that we have, A Grateful Heart. This is by Gail Brooke Burkett. I do not ask to walk smooth paths, nor bear an easy load. I pray for strength and fortitude to climb the rock-strewn road. Give me such courage, and I can scale the headiest peaks alone and transform every stumbling block into a stepping stone.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Margaret. So let's give another role blessing, shall we? So we'll come off mute and we'll do what we did in the beginning. I'd like to volunteer for this though. I don't want to lead it this time. So if there's someone that hasn't led it, that would be nice. It's we see you, we hear you, we love you, and we'll do it 3 times. And just recognizing all of the sharings that just happened and the expressions, the art, the memories, the sentiments, the feelings, and lifting that and amplifying it right now. And in doing so, yeah, the role blessing. So would someone please lead that? Shall I call on someone? No, I won't do that. Jasmine, would you lead it? Would you be okay with that?
Sure. I see you. I hear you. I love you. I see you. I hear you.
Hear you. We love you.
You,
See you.
hear you.
Hear you. And we love you. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for tuning in and loving on one another, expressing in these ways. And please take good care. I know that this is, it feels like it's exceptionally like we're moving through molasses right about now. And so if the best you're doing is getting up in the morning, getting out of bed, putting one foot in front of the other, so to speak, you know what, you're doing good. You're doing good. So the other thing would be to just make sure we're connecting with each other. And I say that a lot. You all might remember last year or whenever this began at Roll, the SEVA check-ins, SEVA being selfless service. And so continue if you can. And if you can't check in with someone, then let someone know, hey, I need a check-in. I need someone to check in with me. So we're there for that too, okay? In the meantime, please take good care. Feel free. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say a closing prayer right now. So let's get in a comfortable position. And let's end the way we began with 3 deep breaths. So if it is comfortable for you to close your eyes, you can do so. And let's pause just for a moment before we intentionally breathe together. Just pause right here. And taking that first breath in collectively, breathing in. And the exhale when you're ready. And we're going to take a second breath in and really allow your lungs to fill up, breathing in. And then a beautiful exhale out of the mouth, releasing. And then a third time, breathing in. And then the wondrous exhale. And so, Holy One, we end as we began, in the depths of wonder and in the mystery. And so if we're sitting in the void, as some of us might feel right now, and we're sitting in the unknown, let there be a certainty and an assuredness that flows in through our veins, through our body temple, that lifts up our head high, where we can gaze upon the stars and in the universe, that we see the changing shifts of the planets and the stardust that is right there for the taking. May this wonder fill up our spirits and our souls, where we realize, yes, I believe that the change is going to happen. I believe that it can happen. I believe that our children will be safe. I believe that all people will be safe. And not only safe, but will be thriving. And that there's waters will flow and the riverbeds will heal our bodies. Let us come back to this belief system that is effervescent with joy and with love. May we reside here together on the banks, connecting spirits, connecting minds, holding hands together, not just in this way tonight, but in the coming moments of the evening. And so, Great Spirit, if we need to remember what this whole cosmic thing is about, let's come back to these moments of connection that we get to experience and not let go of them. And forever center the love that is you. And so it is. Amen, Amen, Ashe, and Aho. Hey, everybody. You can come off mute and you can say your goodbyes. Send your love to one another. We'll see you in 2 weeks for our healing service.
Okay, sounds
See
good.
everybody later. See you later, Robert.
See
See you later, everyone. Bye-bye, Taylor. Bye, Scott.
Bye-bye.
David,
Bye-bye.
Margaret,
Bye-bye,
Hi,
Reverend.
Jasmine. Welcome.
Jasmine.
Woo!
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody, for being.
Thanks, Scott. Wes, I'll see you soon.
Sounds like a plan.
See you in 2 weeks.
See you soon, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.